Good morning, everybody. My name is Abhignashri Shivakumar, and I will be presenting today's project. Please allow me a moment to share my screen. As part of today's project, we will be talking about the COVID summary report. As we all know that COVID-19 is the global pandemic which was declared by the WHO in the year 2019, which saw its peak in 2020. Let's talk about the background and the current status which is faced in Canada in particular. As we all know that most of the countries remain affected by the pandemic, Canada was nothing but one of them. Although Canada was one of the last countries to get vaccine as they did not produce one of their own, they have tackled the virus very efficiently in comparison to other countries. Over the course of the pandemic, Ontario, Quebec, British Columbia, and Alberta have seen the majority of the cases, and all these provinces and territories have reported not only cases but also deaths. The current status of the COVID-19 cases can be viewed in the table which is given below, that the total tests performed is more than 6 million and the daily positive rate is around 13.6%, which even though this is significantly reduced compared to when it was in 2020, we still need to take precautionary measures, which I will show based on the statistics and visualization produced further on. So we can see from the following diagram, these are the various territories in Canada which has been affected by the COVID-19 cases. The darker the color represent, the more number of cases in the city and more number of deaths as well. So we can see that Ontario and Quebec results to the most number of cases, which owing to its populations are densely populated compared to the rest of Canada, and most of the immigrants and people are living in these nations. There are also been some nations which have some provinces which have recorded zero cases, such as Saskatchewan. The data set for this analysis has been taken from ourworldindata.org, and we have produced a lot of bars and line graphs, correction plots, trends, and forecasts, using which we will try to analyze the current situation and see what would be the necessary measures which can be taken in the future to avoid more cases. From the diagram given below, we can see that the picture represented on the left-hand side, the maximum number of deaths was recorded in 2020, which was the Q2, which is very reasonable because this was the year when the pandemic was at its peak and it was very new to us, and we did not have any measures of how to tackle this. So this was when there was the most amount of peak cases. Especially in the Q2, and Canada being one of the countries which got its vaccine a little later than compared to the rest of the countries, such as USA, who manufactured their own countries, hence the deaths can be reasonable. But we can also see that even though there was a reduce in Q3, there have been ups and downs, majorly again in 2022 in Q1, which increased significantly, almost as close to Q1 because of the new variant Omicron, which came into picture. The total number of people vaccinated versus the total number as per date can be seen in the right hand side, that the rate of growth of total population was not high until July 2021. So until July 2021, we can see that not many people took vaccines very seriously, and there have been very less increase. Although after July 2021, because of the significant rise in deaths, we can see a lot of Canadians took forward the effort to get themselves vaccinated, and you can see that the numbers increased steadily between July to almost February 2022, where the numbers almost tripled itself, where people took their first and second doses. And after that, we can see that there has been a retained and a steady growth post July 2021, which is not a good sign as well as not a bad sign, because there has not been a decrease in them. And we can see that the people understood the value of the vaccines, which would help retain the virus. Now we will further go on to classify the distribution of COVID-19 cases based on the age groups. So we can see that the various age groups have been affected very differently. 0 to 11 years kid have around a 10.4%. A 12 to 19-year-old has around 8.4%, but the maximum can be seen between 20 to 29-year-olds, owing to their largely because these are the age groups of people who mostly go outside rather than the other groups of people, which led to the increase in the spread of the virus. Although we can see that even there has been a significant increase between 40 to 59 years of age, the lowest numbers have been recorded in the elderly group, which is 70 to 79%. Um, 70 to 79 years, which is around 4.5%, which is a good thing because elder people have a low resistance towards this dreaded virus, which gives respiratory problems. Based on the statistics and the data which we collected from the data set, we can see that the future forecast, although from the historical data and how it has been affected, it shows that there would be a decline in the number of overall cases, but we cannot keep our guards down because until today, the variants have been unpredictable and new variants continue to multiply and continue to come into picture. Finally, I would like to conclude that from all the data which we have collected using seeing the number of provinces affected, seeing the age group, seeing the total number of vaccinations and everything, and in spite of having taken measures such as isolation, such as limiting the crowd, we can see that it every now and then, whenever there has been an unexpected rise in the COVID-19 cases owing to a new variant, it has always overwhelmed the number of hospitalization and its staff, and the booster shots need to, I would recommend that the timely application of booster shots to help immunize people against the virus should be very mandatory, and it should continue unless we get a permanent vaccination which can be given to infants to stop COVID-19 from ever multiplying itself. Although we can see that masks now have not been mandatory and people can choose to wear it or not, social distancing and practices such as sanitizing places such as workplaces, public places, and ourselves, for a matter of a fact, should be made and incorporated as a lifestyle change, and it should be routinely, so that we take this virus very seriously and we do not go to increase in spread of this. Until the WHO has gone ahead and given green signal towards an endemic, which is still ongoing pandemic, it is very necessary for us to keep a check on the number of strengths of people which can be allowed in any places such as public gatherings. Although I can completely sympathize for the fact that there has been many years we have spent, which we have lost almost 2.5 years at homes in our remotely studying, working, but still to understand the importance to not overwhelm our hospitals, our leaders, and our doctors. It is very important we take it seriously and do our bit and stay at home as much as possible if there is another outbreak. And I would thank you so much, everyone who sat through this and listened, and your feedback would be very valuable to me. Thank you.